Hey guys, I'm all red and stuff because I went out in the wilderness. Today I am really happy to introduce a new trans youth blogger for Fridays. Her name is Eland85 or Erica Lind, and she will be introducing herself later on in the week. I'm actually really excited. I am personally subscribed to her. And in addition to that, we decided that because we're bringing a little bit of new blood over the next 2 weeks to Trans Youth Channel, we do a couple get to know you kind of videos. And for those of you who have been watching this channel since the beginning, then I guess it's a good time for you to get to know us a little bit more. We won't be talking explicitly about being trans, but I think that it's kind of a fresh breath for you guys to understand a little bit more about who we are and what we do, why we want to do it, and get to know us as people a little bit more. Anyways, the topic for this week is what kind of goals do you have? I do mean this in a form of transition sense. I do mean in transition, are you going for SRS? Are you going to look a certain way? Are you going to feel a certain way? How do you feel about that? But I also mean that in a career type sense. Has your transition affected the way that you tackle your career? Or has your transition affected your personal life in any way, shape, or form? Where you want to live, what you want to do, who you want to have a relationship with? However, before we move on to that, I do want to say one more time, we have another spot for Saturday. If you want to be a trans youth blogger, there is still one day. I am still looking at those exact same applications that you guys gave, but definitely if you haven't submitted your application or you feel that you could have a much stronger application if you submit it a second time, go for it. Do it. I do not mind. In fact, it's a good thing. And the opening that we will have is for Saturdays on Trans Youth Channel. If you feel that you can fill that spot very reasonably, you know what you can bring to Trans Youth Channel. You have videos that we can see, and you can clearly demonstrate dedication to the channels. Put in your application. Send it to transyouthchannel@gmail.com or toss it down here in the comments. I see those too. Or PM me at the Trans Youth inbox or my personal message for name is Sammy. It's really pretty easy now, and I'm making sure that you're not going to get lost in translation. As a side note to that, just a small attachment, send your questions to transyouthchannel@gmail.com as well. I am still accepting those, and the list is still quite large, but it's getting smaller by the week. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We don't mind how embarrassing they are. They all go on the list. Regarding goals, for my portion of the week, I'm going to say that my goals are pretty affected by my transition. As far as transition goes, I have recently been getting into this whole issue with SRS, where I originally thought that I wanted to do SRS only if the money came up in my career. And lately, it's kind of been a change of mind, and I want to talk about this a little bit more on my personal channel, but it's kind of changing to I need SRS no matter what. And I don't mean like within the next year or whatever, but I'm going to start saving up for it as soon as I can get a respectable job. I'm going to finish this transition as quickly as possible. On the other hand, my career advancements and everything have taken a large turn due to my transition, in that I have gone from wanting to be an artist for commission, which is pretty vague, basically just anyone and everyone who wants a piece, I'll do a piece for them, to being a traveling mural artist and a non-governmental advocate for nonprofit organizations, small interest groups, and interested persons. Basically, what that means is I will promote people's ideas in a non-governmental way. I'm not going to be the one going, vote for this, or you should do this, or anything like that. I'll definitely encourage that activism, But primarily, I want to promote the idea to the vast public, the vast majority, as an idea and get them to think about it. Not necessarily agree with it or anything, but make sure that my client, this small interest group or this nonprofit group, such as Matthew Shepard Foundation, will get that attention that they deserve and they can go from there. My whole deal is I want to bring people in, give them ideas, because I feel that something like that needs to happen. Now, I'm fully aware that TED does this, which is just TED, just a massive, like, informational system, but it's all for technology, education, empowerment, and ideas. And I think that we need to have that on a social level as well, talking about things that are going on in your local community. So I wanted to pull up this like public speaking thing because I'm on YouTube all the time and I'm in workshops all the time. I'm doing public speaking all the time. Why not do it for things that need to be said as opposed to things I really strongly agree with? Although I will be continuing with that. The whole mural artist thing is because I notice when I'm doing my mural arts and things like that, it's a great time to network. It's a great time to talk to people about the meaning of the piece, why it's there. It's a form of massive visual communication that draws anyone in the local community into you. And in my personal life, my transition is just as significant, but for the same reasons that I talked about it. My transition is a very big hot topic issue to me. I find it important to be so out as I am to inform anyone that has any questions and to make sure that I am not perpetuating a stereotype of being a terrible tranny. I am a normal person, and people need to know that trans people can be normal. They can lead good lives, they can be very successful, and just because you don't often see that does not mean that the ones who are not passable or are less fortunate are any less or more trans, any less respectable or more respectable, or anything of the sort, if that makes sense. Once again, put your applications in at transyouthchannel@gmail.com. Welcome to Eland85. I'm really excited to see what happens in the future weeks of Trans Youth. And send your questions in to transyouthchannel@gmail.com. We are always taking questions. We will be taking applications next week, and I will release one more person in next Monday's video regarding Saturday's position. I wish you guys good luck, and be sure those applications are good. Bye.